I've always been a team first guy. I'm a fiercely patriotic guy. The only goal was to play for the Proteas, to represent my country. I remember just walking onto the field and saying, like, if this is the only game I ever get, I'll be happy. Take SA20 and times it by 10. That's what the IPL is. 80,000 people in India, and you can't hear yourself think or even speak to your partner, cutting that out, or the internal pressure, or the choking. I mean, every World Cup that I went to, the choking thing comes up. Myself and Quinny also made 100. I made 100. And that partnership was just one of those that you dream about. Like every shot you hit just goes in the gap and it's full.
Hello and welcome to the Sias du Plessis Show. Thanks once again to everyone that has liked and subscribed. Today's guest, well, he is one of South Africa's top cricketers. Unfortunate to miss out on the 2026 World Cup in India, but he's got a great story to tell. The late bloomer, the man who still has a fantastic record and lots to offer South African cricket. His name is Rassie van der Dussen. Let's get into it. The views expressed by the guests on the Sias du Plessis Show are their own and do not represent the views of the show or its host. Rassie van der Dussen, thanks so much for coming in. I've been wanting to get you in studio for a long time, but life of a professional cricketer, your schedule is not always easy to find gaps in, is it?
No, and you know, the nature of the cricketing landscape these days, things pop up sometimes last minute, then you have to board a plane. It'll be nice in the ideal world to sort of plan your 12 months in advance and know exactly. I think some guys have that luxury, but for the majority of us, you've sometimes got to go where you need to go, and it gets busy sometimes. Yeah. So the time that you do have at home, like you really want to just be at home, be present, spend some time with friends and family and the other stuff that you've got going on. So yeah, it's been a while, but I'm here now, so all good.
And happy birthday. I mean, birthday just the other day. I mean, are you counting the years these days?
Not really. I mean, I feel the same. People always say that. I feel the same. I'm 37 now, which if you think about it objectively for a sportsman, it's getting on. So, but physically I'm still good.
You look amazing, my man.
One of my good friends, Gerard van der Merwe, I work out with him at his gym, Power Beyond Measure, shout out. Yeah, I've been lucky to sort of work with him over the years. Physically, he's an absolute machine. So I try to keep up with the sort of CrossFit guys.
Okay.
Functional training. So still spend some time with him. He keeps me on my toes.
I mean, with the CrossFit stuff, that's quite a workout. You know what I mean? But I suppose then for cricket these days, especially in the shorter format, you have to be in peak physical shape to throw yourself around the park, power hits. I mean, all these different things that go into it, right? That's
exactly it. And that's the thing we've been working on, especially over the last 2 years, is that sort of explosive power, those fast twitch muscle fibers. A lot of CrossFit, a lot of the things I don't do because I think as a sportsman, CrossFit's not the optimal. There's a lot of lifting and stuff that obviously puts a lot of strain on your joints and stuff. But like I said, I've been lucky that he's sort of over the last 2 or 3 years personalized the program to me, and we've a lot of explosive, a lot of plyometric stuff, a lot of power, and obviously a strength and fitness, stamina aspect as well. So I think as you move on in your career, those things become more important, I want to say, and we've been really sort of deliberate with that. And I think, that's why I've been lucky. In my career, I've only really had one big injury, and that was a finger break. I still can't bend it, but that was in a test match at Old Trafford against England 2022.
Did you know straight away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole joint basically just crashed. I was fielding a ball, and it felt like fire, really. But anyway, that's my only big injury I've had in my career. And I think sort of the years of deliberately physical attention to what I'm doing, maybe that's paying off now, or maybe I'm just lucky. Yeah.
I say go with it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I say go with it. Did you get a bit of time off after Betway SA20 just to, I mean, because it's such a compact tournament. The cricket comes thick and fast. It's packed stadiums. There's some pretty good cricketers who are trying to get you out.
Yeah.
What was the experience like this time around?
Unbelievable. I mean, Betway SA20, I think it's the best competition in the world. I've said it a few times. I think standard-wise, it's the best in the world, and I've played in all of them, with the exception of maybe Big Bash in Australia. 6 teams, strength versus strength. There's overseas internationals in every team, household names. It's an unbelievable tournament. This year, I think the scheduling was a bit tight because of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Ideally, would have loved to have another week to fit it in, because it like you say, it is intense. You play border plane travel.
Yeah.
And because the cricket is as close to international standard that I've seen in the league, it takes a lot out of you as a player. But it's an unbelievable tournament. I mean, my friends and family, I think my brothers went to like 7 or 8 of my games, traveling around, and packed stadiums. It's a hell of a tournament. So I had some time off now, and we'll probably need to start getting back into the gym soon.
I think, especially looking at where that tournament falls into place, it's always tricky, because often it's a Boxing Day test, or there's content from a Proteas point of view, right? But I think it's breathed new life. No, I don't think. I know it's breathed new life into South African cricket, because the fans are suddenly getting treated to world-class players. It's between the teams that are playing, the contests are pretty even every time. And I think it just puts our cricket and the opportunities for our younger cricketers on the global stage.
Definitely. I think one thing that Graham and CSA has done really well is to get the Indian IPL ownership involved. I mean, those guys, they understand the business of sports entertainment, and I mean, you probably know better than most. And it has breathed new life into it. I mean, me playing for MI Cape Town, I land there a week before the tournament to check in, and there's billboards of us next to the highway, and you see it on TV, you hear it on the radio. And those are all things that maybe has been lacking a bit in the last 5 to 10 years in South African cricket. And it genuinely just is. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's so well supported. Obviously, people love cricket. We a cricket environment, or cricket culture in South Africa is very strong. So you add that little extra 5 to 10% on it, the entertainment factor. I mean, I don't think we had a game this year that wasn't sold out, which is unbelievable.
It's fantastic.
It's as a player, it's such a honor or a privilege. I want to say we're so lucky to have that. Like I said, it's just a great product, and the whole sort of country gets swept up, and it's awesome.
Do you still get nerves when you walk out to bat?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so there's still the butterflies.
Yeah, there is. I think it comes with the sense of occasion. Like you want to. Like I'm just thinking now that this year we played Joburg Super Kings at Wanderers, which is my home ground, obviously. And myself and Ryan Rickleton opened the batting for MI Cape Town. We both Lions boys. We've played there we played together for the last 10 years. And him and I always seem to do well there.
Yeah.
But you had a packed bull ring. There's 30,000 odd people, which they obviously rooting for the home team. But I always, when I'm there, I just feel I feel the love as well from the people, because we're local. And in that sense of occasion, you want to do really well.
Yeah.
Because you want to live up to what the occasion is. And I think that's where the nerves these days come. Like, I don't feel I have anything left to prove from a playing point of view. Like, I'm pretty sure people know what I'm about as a player. But on a day like that, for example, you want to do really well. You want to express yourself, and luckily for the last few years, him and I have been able to do that, especially there, which is my favorite ground in the world. So it's great to play there.
Ball travels nicely there.
Travels nicely.
Good
It's
for
a great
batting.
place to bat. But definitely still get nervous. And I think I've heard guys say that when you lose that, you stop not getting nervous or caring, then maybe that's time to move on. So luckily for me, I am still nervous when I go out to bat.
Yeah, still get the excitement.
Definitely.
I think it's interesting you say that, because 37 years old, still professional cricketer, still hitting the ball miles, still handling yourself. I think you've banked that public credibility, if I can put it that way. I think, if I'm not mistaken, your ODI average is still like, I think it's not, if not number one in the world, it's 50. I mean, that's ridiculous. You still have that credibility factor, and I think there's a lot of people that still think you have a lot to offer South African cricket in various formats. That must feel good, considering that you did have a late start in your career, but in the time that you've been representing your country, representing the whole host of different teams here, playing in the IPL, you've always come out as someone who's been the ultimate professional, someone who's always been a team player. And when the chips are down, Rassie van der Dussen is at the crease and he's trying to win a game.
Yeah, I mean, if you say it like that, I can't ask for more, because that's as you move on in your career, you sort of think, what do you want to be remembered as? Because life moves on very quickly, especially in sport. People will forget what you did, maybe in a particular match or in this particular situation. But for me, it's always been like, what's the type of player I want to be, that resonates with me. I know that I can be happy with myself, and if I look back and this is what I see, and the things that you say there, I mean, it's great for me to hear, because that's exactly it. Like, I've always been a team first guy. I'm a fiercely patriotic guy. It was always like the only goal was to play for the Proteas, to represent my country, and that's sort of just how I lived my life. Really, it's came late. I think when I was about 27. I sort of made the decision, or just a switch in my head, that if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Like, I've really given it my all since the age that I don't know, I can remember, and certain things are just out of your control. I mean, at that stage, it was like Ash, Faf, AB, Quinny, Dave, JP, like. It was so difficult to try and even think to break into that team. And I just realized that, like, that's out of my control. I can't control that. So if it doesn't happen, like, I'm okay with it. I think that sort of switch in my head then ironically gave me a lot of freedom to sort of expand my game and win more games, even though I had a good domestic career up until then. Like, that switch made me even better, because I just let go of this thing that I have to play for the Proteas. I have to, that's my goal. Not let go of it in a bad way, but just like a freeing way, if that makes sense. So, so I suppose now looking back at it, I'm so grateful for what I could achieve. I'm still playing.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't
contracted?
retired. I'm still contracted.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm done by any stretch of the imagination. But the reality of sport is, the longer you go, the more young guys are coming in, the more you'll be pushed, and that's a healthy system. And if it had to stop today, I mean, my dad said to me a year or two ago already, if your career had to stop now, you can be very proud of what you've done. And if it had to stop now, I'll still feel very proud, even though the ambition is still there to keep improving and trying to get better and win matches for whoever I play for.
I look here, I mean, you said 27, you made peace. I think that was kind of, if I get a call up, great. Otherwise, I know I've given 120% to get to this point. And every time I've put on the Lions jersey, whatever that may be, or this is what I've done to the best of my ability. But then fast forward, here we are in 2026, there's 18 test matches. You've got 71 ODIs, 57 T20 internationals. That is something to be proud of. And I haven't even gone through your averages or the stats or whatever here. But I mean, if someone had said to you at 27, listen, Rassie, I've had a crystal ball moment, what would you have said?
Look, I certainly would have backed myself to do it. but I probably would have, I probably wouldn't have believed it. Like I said, at that stage, even though maybe I wasn't that far, it certainly looked very far to try and just get one game. And I think, and I'll never forget playing my first game. My debut was in East London, T20 against Zimbabwe, and I remember just walking onto the field and saying, like, if this is the only game I ever get, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And ever since that day, I've gone into every game with that sort of mindset, because it's such a rare thing that you get to do that. Like, how many people set out to achieve that, and how many actually achieve it? And I'm not saying that in any sense that, like, I have the answer and I've now done it and look at me how good I am or whatever, because I'm not. I'm a fairly average player, and I can say that because I know other guys. But the fact that I've managed to achieve that is just almost like awe-inspiring feeling. It's a surreal feeling that, and I think because I had that mindset, made my debut at what was it, 29 or 28, 29, I think. It's fairly late, objectively for a sportsman. And I felt like, ironically, that was the thing that made me maybe do well throughout my career, and gave me a career that, like I said, I'm really proud of.
I disagree with your statement that you're an average cricketer in your opinion. And I know what you mean. If you look around at, there are some people who are ridiculously talented, and you've witnessed firsthand some of these amazing cricketers. A.B. de Villiers, Quinton de Kock, even Ryan Rickleton is a phenomenal talent. But I think, having watched your career, Rassie, you bring a steeliness, there's a resilience, and there's this mental fortitude that you bring. Because when I see you take guard, face up, it's almost like you giving off this message, you're not getting through me today. And I think that's quite an intimidating thing for a bowler to bowl to you. But also your record speaks for itself. So you might, if you're comparing it talent-wise, just purely talent, but I think work rate, fitness, commitment, I think you're a superstar, man.
Yeah, I think there's more aspects to being a successful sportsman than obviously just talent.
Yeah.
So to clarify, maybe, yes, talent-wise, I don't think I'm anything special.
Sure.
I left Titans years ago at the age of 20. They said to me, I'm just a red ball player. They have no plans of ever including me in a white ball team, and that's why I left. But I think at that stage it was fair, because I wasn't anything special. Like, look at the kids coming up these days playing T20. I'm like thinking, when I was 20 years old, I was just playing like 4-day cricket and blocking it, at striking at footy, so. But yeah, I think especially coming to international cricket, there's more that I think goes into it. And those things that you mentioned, resilience, like cool head under pressure, having the right techniques in your mind to know what to think at a certain stage, having the ability to cut out noise, whether it's 80,000 people in India and you can't hear yourself think or even speak to your partner, cutting that out, or the internal pressure or the choking. I mean, every World Cup that I went to, the choking thing comes up. Pressure from fans, family, although my family's pretty chilled. I never had any pressure from them. But expectation, like the ability to have that, switch it or tune it out, I want to say. The resilience, obviously the physicalness that goes into it. Those are things that can be learned. I spent a lot of time in my younger years reading books about guys. Steve Waugh, I don't know if you've read his book or seen his book. It's about this thing. And it sort of took me almost a year to work through in high school, and I'm not a reader. You can ask anyone that knows me. I don't love reading books. But I worked through books like that because that's a guy that I saw, exactly what you said now. That's a guy that I saw when you see him batting there, you think they're not getting him out today.
Yeah.
So I try to sort of look for cues in his book to that are replicable. I don't know if that's a word, but that I can replicate.
Yeah.
That's a learned thing, a learned action, because that's not talent. Resilience is not a talent. Staying calm under pressure, that's not a talent. That's something. Those are things that you can teach someone. So maybe later in my career, and you said that, a lot of people have said that when I started playing international cricket, it looked like I've been playing for years, but maybe it's those sort of things that eventually I saw the results of years later. But to answer your question, there is a lot more that goes into being successful, I think, at an international stage than just talent or ability.
Often they say 29, 30 for a batsman is kind of the peak, right? Where they're most in tune with their body, the most in tune with their technique. They've played a few games. They understand their game. And I think that's so important when you enter that international stage, because if I think about some of the amazing performances you've had over the years, they've often come when you've been under the pump and you've had to graft and get teams over the line. And I think you make mention of the choking element, especially in World Cups. You've played in 4, right? If I'm not mistaken, 4 World Cups. And every time South Africa goes into a World Cup, there is this cloud that hangs over them. Do you feel that sort of cloud as a group, as an individual, and as someone who potentially at a World Cup knows the responsibility that you're carrying just because you come from a place like South Africa and everyone is so intent on success and so keen to see the Springboks win, the Proteas win, Bafana Bafana? Do you feel that as an individual and potentially as a collective?
Yeah, it's difficult not to feel it. I think my first World Cup experience was 2019 in England. And what made it really evident for me then was a lot of the guys in that team had come from the 2015 World Cup. I think, what was it, 2016?
15, New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, that one. And
so the whole semi-final.
Yeah, where everyone was just saying we have by far the best team in the world. And then obviously it didn't happen what had happened. So Faf, Hash, Quinny, Dale, and it was evident for me there that those guys still sort of carried that, although it didn't weigh them down, it was still there. And that was my first experience with it. And I sort of came into it sort of fresh. Myself, Aiden, Dwayne. There's a few guys that wasn't there and didn't have that baggage. But quickly realized that it's something that you have to deal with. And the way we dealt with it as a team was saying, well, we had nothing to do with that. So why do we have to be burdened by it? I mean, fans are going to, and media especially if you're in a foreign country and they're looking for any chink in the armor. I mean, every press conference, you hear, how are you guys handling the choking thing? What are you talking about?
They're teeing you up that question.
No, it is. And we just thought and the standard response was, look, I wasn't part of that. Not saying anything disrespectful, obviously, to the guys that were, but I wasn't part of that. And I've never been in a World Cup situation where that's been applicable to me. So why are you asking me? It's nothing. This is a new team. It's the same team, yes. But it's new individuals. So, yeah, I mean, I forget what the question was, but
dealing with that sort of expectation, I suppose, because pressure is one thing, but expectation is another. In that space. And
South Africa, sport-loving, sport-mad country, is always that expectation. And I think the main takeaway from it, always for me and for the teams that I was involved in, was just accept that. People are going to hold us at a high standard. Yeah. And the sooner you accept it and make peace with it, then you can move on. So if we don't get to a semi-final or a final or we win, then you must know that there's going to be backlash. Is what it is. It's professional sport. We get paid a lot of money to do it. It's a massive honor and privilege to be in that position in the first place. So take that responsibility on. It's not just another day at the office. It's not just another tournament. It is a World Cup, and we've been the ones that's been entrusted to try and win it. So you got to see it in that light.
Does a World Cup feel very different compared to, any other tournament, just because of kind of the weight it carries? Because there's big hype. I mean, we've got a World Cup around the corner, but 2023 World Cup, for example, does it feel different when you get onto that field for the first time?
It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's just another level of pressure, especially with our history. So, and that's the thing. Instead of trying to spend so much mental energy trying to fight that expectation, the choker's tag, the whatever, you accept it and see, okay, well, what's the next step? What do I need to do to prepare? We're playing this guy and this guy, this country. How do I go through my process of preparing 100% for that? And on the field, look, performance is not guaranteed in any sense of the word. So how do I tick the boxes that I need to tick? How do I get myself into the right frame of mind, not thinking about those things? What's my optimal thought process and where I need to be as a player? And you sort of break it down to things that are fairly palatable in terms of, okay, we're playing against Australia. Who am I going to face? I'm going to face Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, whoever it might be. Okay. How do I prepare for those guys? How do they look to get me out? What's my plans against them? Okay. The conditions of the field. What's a pass score? What's a winning score? Does it spin? Is Adam Zampa going to be a big factor for them? Is Maxwell going to bowl? And you go through that whole process and formulate your own blueprint individually and then as a batting unit, for example. And you go through that step for step for step. And by the time you get into the middle, you sort of just trust that you've done all that stuff and you compete. You get into that frame of mind where it's the Aussies. I'm here to compete. I'm here to be at my best. And you better know that I'm going to be at my best because I know you're going to be at your best. And then that's sport, isn't it? And then you try and give yourself the best chance to be successful.
The higher the level, the finer the margins.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the higher the stakes.
100%.
And the thing about that is cricket is such an uncontrollable sport in general, obviously. But cricket is such an uncontrollable. You can, on one day, do the exact same thing and go out first ball. On the other day, the guy drops the catch and you make 100. And you've done nothing differently. 10 of 30 balls one day. The next day you'll face 30 balls and be on 50.
Yeah.
And you've done nothing differently. The only thing is maybe you didn't hit the fielders this time. Maybe that one shot carried over the rope and went for 6 instead of being caught on the boundary and you needed 2% more power, 2% more distance, and it was a 6 and you're the hero. Look at Dave in 2024 World Cup. I mean, a yard extra literally and we're winning a World Cup.
100%.
And those are the I want to almost say the years of build up and prep and everything that goes into that one moment. So no, a World Cup is a different beast, but it's a beautiful thing.
Bonjour. You know you don't always have to go all in. Every game needs a bit of in-game management. Reset. Breathe for a second. The best managers always stick to the plan. Play within the lines, that's how the game works best. And hey, if things feel off, take a break or set limits. No harm in taking a moment on the sideline. And just remember to bet the responsible way with Betway.
I'm going to put you on the spot now. How much does it sting not being at this World Cup?
Yeah, it does. Definitely. Like I said, I haven't retired. I think because of the things we've spoken about now, experience, calm under pressure, those are the things that get tested at a World Cup.
Yeah.
I think somehow I've been lucky that probably my best performances, my best stats, if you go break it down, are at World Cups, in crunch games, in big moments. And I think oftentimes, especially in T20 cricket, these things get overlooked for the cosmetic value, I want to almost say. That's why it's massive for a guy like Quinton to be back. Because yes, are there youngsters that can physically and probably from a pure ability-wise compete with him? Yes, definitely. But Quinny's been to World Cups. He's been in those situations. He's been in IPLs. He's been in. So when push comes to shove, his mind is going to be clear. And those are often things I think that is overlooked, especially in T20 cricket. Things that are valued in longer format. But T20 cricket is not just about going out and trying to hit a 6 and trying to hit a 4. When you're needing 10.5 and over, you're 4 wickets down and you're in the middle.
Yeah. How
do you go about that? That pressure. Yeah, so it definitely hurts not being at this World Cup, but always hurts to, as an active player, not be in the team because you want to be in the team.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, if that goes away, then maybe you're closer towards the end of your career. I think for me, I've always wanted to play for South Africa. If that goes away, and I retire from international cricket, for example, or I don't know how long I'll keep playing, because yes, you can play leagues and money, but that's never been my drive. And I don't say that because I come from money or that I've made a lot of money now. It's just that's never been the thing. The thing has always been, okay, I'll play in this league. Oh, it's nice that I'm getting paid millions to play here, but it serves a purpose for actually, all right, I'm going to play in the Pakistan Super League now. There's a Champions Trophy, and in 6 months' time, I'm going to get used to the conditions. Or I'm playing against these bowlers. When I face this guy when he plays for Australia, I have a reference of, it's always been a means to that.
Yeah.
So when I do stop, not sure how long I'll keep playing on this circuit, like many guys. And I'm not saying this is right or wrong. That's just my way.
But it's important for you to go out on your terms.
You would think so. I don't, sportsmen, everyone wants to.
Yeah, and in an ideal world.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think everyone gets to do that. But I think the thing is, and now again, it's like we mentioned earlier, looking back, I think if I look back 5 years, in 5 years' time, looking back now, I think the important thing is to almost step away when people are saying, oh, why are you retiring? You got we think you can still do more. You can, rather that than people saying, listen, I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I think, so I think the timing of that is important for me, because I don't think I'll ever be a guy that just hangs on.
Yeah.
And I know I'm lucky and in a privileged position to say that, but yeah, I think it's a tricky thing trying to time that, and it's something that I have to deal with now. I'm 37. It's not like I'm very much closer to the end than at the start. So getting the timing of that right is probably an important thing.
Yeah. You mentioned 80,000 people not being able to hear your teammates. The IPL is a special tournament, and I'm sure there's a couple left. But for you, what makes it? I know you Betway SA20 stands out. It's on South African soil. You're patriotic, and we all love the tournament. But the IPL was the first. It's the big beast. What makes it such an I suppose, special, but also intense, overwhelming, and just blockbuster all the time?
Yeah, I think take SA20 and times it by 10.
Yeah.
That's what the IPL is. Because so many cricket fans, so many passionate fans, firstly, that's the one aspect of it. With that comes pressure, expectation, not only as a player, but as an organization. So a team doesn't do well, who's under fire? It's the coach, it's the management, because those owners are like, listen, this is our thing. These 3 months, we're paying a lot of money for you guys to do a job, and if you're not doing it, and vice versa on the other side, like if you're successful, with Rajasthan Royals, I was in the final the 1 year, we lost it, but like the success, the upside is also so massive. The intensity around it, the people, they love cricket, obviously, and it is special. It is something that I'm very, very glad that I could, and honored that I could experience it. Because it is the pinnacle. I think it's the closest to the American sports that, as a cricketer, you can experience. The NFLs, the NBAs, and the World Series baseball, or whatever. I think it's the closest to that, because it is just so hectically pressurized, and and everything is to the max.
Yeah.
Pressure, the expectation, the crowds, the money, the lights, the entertainment around it. It is the original big league, and it's going to be the big league for the biggest of the leagues for ever, I think. And like I said, I'm glad I could experience that.
Heinrich Klaassen was here, and he was telling us a story when he got into the nets. And I'm sure you've experienced this too. There's like net bowlers for days that are coming at you, fast spinners, you name it. And he said like there was just this leggy who rocked up and was bowling to him and had everyone like flummoxed. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he just looked around. He's like, India, like an unstoppable force, just to the amount of talent. And this is a net bowler in the IPL. They're not even on a contract.
No.
They're just there to bowl and basically make up the numbers in net session. Is that the similar experience that you experienced when you were there?
Definitely. And I'll tell you another story. So firstly, the context is India, what's the population? 1.2 billion, whatever. And you can roughly say 90% of the people, cricket is one of their main things. So it's 1 billion people that either watch cricket or want to play cricket or have played cricket or has something to do with cricket. So that's the context. And then they have to choose 11 guys to represent them as a country. Like, how good do you have to be to play for India? It's ridiculous. But years ago, I only ever did one SAA tour. And that would have been 2018, I think. We had a tour in India where I played one 4-day match. It's my only ever game for SAA, which probably doesn't anyway, a great story of the system. So I was lucky to just play one SAA game and then progress from there. But that ties into the Malibongwe Maketa, who's the SA19 coach now. He coached me at Northerns years ago and whatever, and he was on that tour and involved in that system. And he said to us, listen, you guys are competing against guys that this is their only chance to come out of extreme poverty. Like, poverty in India is on an unimaginable level. When you cannot explain it to someone, you can only go there, hopefully, in your life and see it firsthand to try and make sense of it in your head. And cricket is the only ticket. There is no other way for these guys to get out of that situation in their life. Living under a bridge, under a tent, with
sleeping in doorways.
In doorways with no parents, like 15 siblings. Like, it is like you don't have, like, cricket is the desperation that goes into that when you step onto the field and competing against these guys. Like, and that was quite a pivotal moment for me. Like, yes, cricket has been my life ever since I can remember. But I've always had the thing of, if it doesn't work out, I'll find something else. And to have that realization, like, India is unbelievable. And coming to your point of net bowlers, you see the talent there. You see a guy that you face him in the net and you think this guy will play for any other country in the world. If he was South African, he would play 100 ODIs and probably 100 T20s and 50 tests. But he's a net bowler. He doesn't have shoes. Yeah. He's hoping someone would give him some spikes to bowl in for the day. He probably has to travel 2 hours by train, tuk-tuk, walk. He doesn't have money. At least he gets lunch at the training session that he's bowling to you for 3 hours for. Like, when you see that, it's just like, oh, man. Yeah. You realize we have it good.
Yeah. Did you enjoy playing in those sort of conditions, like in India?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did. I think, like I said, IPL is tough. It's really tough. It's long. It's a lot of pressure.
You don't have the freedom of an SA20. Like,
no.
What I mean by that is you can't just go and, I need a coffee, I'm going for a walk. It doesn't happen. You can't leave the hotel.
Some of the cities you can, like Mumbai, Bangalore. Like, it's a bit more cosmopolitan, so people are going to stop you for photos and whatever. But some of the places you're really going to you can't walk out the door. You're just going to get hounded. And that's how extreme it is. But like 2023 World Cup, like I had a really good World Cup. It was that was probably one of my favorite tournaments and tours that I've had in my career. Because people just like, they know you're a cricketer, they know you're here for a World Cup. Like they almost respect you for that, I want to say. Yes, you get the fans that just want to take a photo, and the taxi driver wants to take a photo and go on. So you're driving in this tuk-tuk and there's mayhem there. I mean, Indian traffic and this tuk-tuk driver is video calling his family and showing him who's in the thing, and you like, please watch the road because like there's no seatbelts in this tuk-tuk and we're flying at like 80 k's an hour. So things like that is something that you have to, like I said, you can only experience it and to try and tell someone about it. And then you sort of lucky to survive it, I suppose, in the end.
I suppose each country you've played in, it comes with a different intensity, right? Playing in England, for example, playing the Aussies in Australia, wherever it may be, there's a different kind of intensity, right? And do you have to change that mindset each time, or does the process stay the same?
For me, the process stayed the same, but how you experience it is different. So the English culture, obviously a bit more traditional, and then maybe with the white ball formats, it's a bit of a younger crowd. But same with the Aussies. Like I grew up playing club cricket in Pretoria High School, Old Boys. Played there from the age of like 14, 15, senior cricket. And like that league still now is known for like a lot of verbal abuse and stuff like that. So I dealt with that like from the age of 14, and then going to a place like Australia, fielding on the boundary then, and the guys are just like lambasting you, abusing you, but I actually enjoy that. And then realizing then and giving it a bit back, and then they actually respecting you for it, and then getting the banter going as opposed to like full on just abuse.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool, because the cultures are fairly similar. I mean, there's ways to deal with those types of things. I think, I won't mention names, but when we played England over here in a test series, my first ever test series, I have two younger brothers as well. They also club cricket, so they. And we were playing at Supersport Park, and they were just abusing one of the English players, and the guy went to the security and complained to them, and they had to get moved, and it wasn't even that bad.
Sure.
Like, that's not the way to go about it. Actually engaging with guys, and I found that out in Australia, in England, like they try and they swear at you and they abuse you, but it's banter.
Yeah.
And the way to sort of take the sting out of it is to give it back a little bit, but in a banter fun way. So things like that is pretty cool. But to get back to your question, every country is different. The subcontinent is loud. People they're so passionate. Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and then England, Australia is a bit more like us. Like almost a bit more, I want to say like a Western culture, like people, there's more music playing. There's more, I don't know how to say that, but West Indies party atmosphere, like unbelievable atmospheres at those grounds. Like people go, they first come to party and then they watch the cricket is just on the side. It is unbelievable to play in the West Indies. But again, just lucky to have experienced all of this.
I got to ask you, you would have faced some world-class bowlers in your time. Was there someone that you faced and you were like, I don't know if I have the answers here?
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think you ask various batters that have been sitting in that seat and they go, no, this person. And you're like, what? You don't realize, but when they explain why, it makes sense. So I imagine in your time, in the tests, the ODIs, the T20s, you've gone, ooh, I have to be sharp here today.
Yeah, I mean, multiple times. Funnily enough, like pace or seam bowling I never had too many of those incidents with seam bowling. The one time that springs to mind was actually in my last test that we played at the Gabba. Pat Cummins bowled a spell. And I just played and missed the whole time. And eventually he got me out, caught behind, obviously. But that was one of those times where I thought, like, I don't know what to do. I tried like moving around in my crease. Okay, a bit back a bit. Maybe that throws his length off, a bit forward a bit. Let me stand on off stump. Tried those things all in the space of like his 2 or 3 overs. Nothing worked. And that's a pretty bad feeling, isn't it? But in general, like lots of time for me, mystery spinners got quite tough. A guy like Rashid Khan, Mujib, Chakravarti from India, Abrar Ahmed is another guy from Pakistan. Like when, especially in T20 cricket, required rates at 10, or you're batting first and you know you have to try and go at 10, and you genuinely don't know which way the ball's spinning. So in longer format cricket, maybe 50 over cricket, you can negate that by just batting time and wait for a bad ball. In T20 cricket, you have to make the play. Now the ball's spinning only maybe this much either way. It's enough for you to miss it. And then if a guy's on like that, Rashid Khan bowling 100 k's an hour, spinning one ball spinning that way, one ball spinning that way, and you can't pick it, especially at night. Wrist spinners is a nightmare to pick sometimes. So
better to have them in your team, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the biggest things in my Cape Town. Like, thank goodness he's in my team. So, but a few times that, then you can go to your reverse sweeps, or you go to, you just try something and you're almost hope for the best, to be honest. But those sort of mystery spinners, they've always been the toughest for me.
Then on the flip side, there's been times, and there's been a couple really good ones. You mentioned the knock at the World Cup. You're like, I got this. Is that you just, everything's coming out the middle of the bat. You're seeing it the size of a watermelon, and you're like, and that's a feel thing, right? Yeah,
and that's the type of feeling you try and obviously replicate every time you go out. But it's not a controllable, like I said. But yeah, definitely some innings. I mean, 2023 World Cup, first game, Sri Lanka. You want to start well. It's in India, so its conditions are probably a bit in their favor. We lose the toss. Playing at Delhi, you always want to chase because there's dew at night. It's a good wicket to bat on normally, but especially at night because the dew makes the ball come on nicer. Outfield's gas. We lose the toss. We're batting first. Lose a wicket early and I go in at 3, and those were one of those days. Myself and Quinny also made 100. I made 100, and that partnership was just one of those that you dream about. Like every shot you hit just goes in the gap and it's full. You get a good ball, you don't nick it. You play and miss. And yeah, I had a few of those innings in that tournament. One against New Zealand as well, and one against Afghanistan when we chased. And the upside of that is obviously just so rewarding. That's what you live for. That's what you train for. That's what you put the extra effort, hours in for. For days like that where, it's very special. Like that Sri Lanka game, myself, Quinny and Aiden made 100. We ended up making 400 and something. And just taking the result totally out of it. I mean, they batted well for 300 and something, but they were never going to chase 400. And those are special moments that you look back at and say that's I can be proud of that. It's on the world stage in a high stakes match, whatever. I'm at 100. Those are things that you're proud of as a player.
We've got a few minutes left, Rassie. I could talk to you for hours, but you mentioned batting with Quinny, and he is, for me, like one of the greatest ever to play the game, just in terms of just how he can absolutely destroy an attack. At days, he looks like he could never get out. At days, he plays some shots that maybe aren't great, but playing with someone like that, what kind of confidence does that give you? Or is it a case of sitting on your bat and you just admire the show?
It's a bit of both, but Quinny is probably my favorite player that I've ever played with, for a few reasons. But the biggest one probably being because he just does what he does, and he knows his ability, and he's quite simple in that. I mean, I asked him the other day, why are you scoring so many runs now after your comeback? And he's just like, I don't know. I just do what I always do, and if I score runs, then I score runs. It was after that 100 he made against the West Indies. And that's why I like batting with him. Even so many times that I've batted with him and I feel like, geez, we're under pressure. And you, after the over, you get to the middle and he's just like, no, man, just relax.
What does he say? Does he just like,
It's just like, no, it's fine. Like, we'll be fine. Type of thing. Just watch the ball, whatever. And you want to almost like over-analyze and say, okay, this bowler's coming on. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to look for this shot. It's just like, whatever, just watch the ball and you'll be fine type of thing. And that gives you a lot of calmness. I remember one game, I won't mention the game or the coaches that were involved, but him and I were batting and we were going really well. And it was a 50 over match. We were like 120 for one after like 18 overs or 20 overs. We're going like 6.5s. Message came out from management. Listen, you need to step on it. It's a good pitch, obviously. We're going at 6.5s. We 1 down. We're batting deep. Marco was batting like 8 that day, whatever. Like, we need to try and get to a certain score, yeah. And Quinny was just like, listen, tell the coach you can go F off. We know what we're doing. And that was just like, that's typical Quinny.
Yeah.
Like, and it's nothing personal against the coach. It's nothing, but he's just like, listen, we know what we're doing. We're 130 for 1 after 20 overs. Just tell them to relax. We've got this type of thing. And we ended up, I made 100, he made 100, team made a massive total. And exactly that. And that's Quinny for you.
Yeah.
It's just like, listen, I know what I'm doing. You know what you're doing. Like, if you have any doubt in the middle, it's just like, but Brad, just relax. Just bat. Like, think, what do you want to do? Okay, we need to go at this certain run rate. Just try and do it.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, like, so be it. It's okay. And that just gives you a lot of calmness. And then a lot of times for me, like, just put me back in that frame of mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just play. Let me back my ability. Let me back my prep. We're good, actually.
How important is he to South Africa's World Cup title hopes?
Massive. And I'm so glad he came back, because I think in the last 2 years or so, it was, when did he retire? 2023, yeah. Last 2 years, yes, he's been playing leagues, and I played with him in the CPL for Barbados, and it wasn't the same Quinny. And I could see something was missing. I couldn't put my finger on it. I thought it was just like him not really caring anymore. But one thing about him is he cares about his cricket.
Yeah.
And I think the fact, almost sort of alluding to what I said earlier, is when that went away, international cricket, like a little bit of Quinny went away as well. And the last 2 years, up until now, after his comeback, he just wasn't the Quinny of old. Yes, he had innings here or there in the IPL for Kolkata that you saw, this is...
Yeah. This
Quinny.
glimmer of, yeah.
But ever since he's made that decision to come back, it's almost like it's a bit of a higher purpose to it. And even he, I think, would admit it, because he was always like, we always like talking about responsibility of playing for the Proteas and representing a country. And he was just like, guys, just play, like whatever. He almost like played it down. But even him, I think now would admit, like, there is something bigger. It is not just another team that you play for. It's not just another tournament. And that gets the best out of him. We've seen that now in the last few months, ever since he's come back. And he's still, what is he, like 34, 33 or whatever? Like, he's so good. He is already one of the GOATs. Not even in South African context, like
Globally.
100%. And if he can just continue on this trend for like 2-3 years, he'll unequivocally go down as one of the GOATs. And I'm so glad that he made that decision to come back, because like as a fan, as a spectator, I just look at him bat and I'm like, this guy's unbelievable.
I'm like, grab the popcorn. It's Quinny batting, you know?
Exactly. And like I said, he's my favorite player, I think, that I've ever played with. And I still just love watching him play.
I'm going to last 2 for you. And Steve, my producer, is going to be screaming at me. What, in your opinion, does it take to win a World Cup? You've played in 4. And I know those margins are fine, and sometimes it is lady luck. But based on what you've experienced, and I'm not necessarily talking about this World Cup, but for South Africa to finally win a World Cup?
Geez, I don't know. I think many guys are looking for that answer. Yes, we won the Test Championship. It's not yet the World Cup. It is something, but it's not yet the World Cup. But I think honesty. And the reason I say that is people are always going to compare the Springboks. It's totally different, 2 different sports, 2 different, I want to say, socio-economic environments. But if we can go to just making cricket decisions, the best cricketing decisions, and being honest about that, then we'll win. Because that's where we've just let ourselves down in the past. And anyone who knows my history and my upbringing and where I come from will know that I can make that statement. So you're asking me, what do we need? I think that's what we need.
What's next for you? 37 years old. There's still contracts in place. There's still lots of cricket passion, still fire in your belly. What's next for you? I know the Belgian league, you've got a bit of cricket coming up, but what does the rest of 2026 look like for Rassie van der Dussen, and what does Rassie van der Dussen want to achieve?
Yeah, look, I think I still love playing for the Lions, the Wanderers. We've got such a good thing going there. So 50 over comp is coming up. I'll play that again. I don't play red ball cricket anymore. So T20s and 50 overs for the Lions. At least one more season if they want me. I think there's so many good players coming through there. So personally, I have to decide, like, if I play, who's the guy then missing out? And is that fair? But at least one more season at the Lions, because I think they've given me so much over the years. Greg Fredericks, who was the CEO when I got there, John O'Leaf right now has been there for the last few years. It's an unbelievable thing, and that's one of those teams that you want to play for. Like, the reason everyone wants to come play for the Lions. So that a few leagues here and there, T20 leagues, that'll probably pop up. Again, where I'm at now is like, if they do come, it's good. If they don't, like, I've got a lot going on at home.
Yeah.
Got a little one on the way.
Congrats on
probably
that.
First public forum that I'm saying that on. I don't think my wife can't hide it anymore. So if you see her now, she the cat's pretty much out the bag there. So that's obviously going to change things.
Yeah, it's another chapter.
It's another chapter. I've got some business interests at home and really, really love leaning into that. So yeah, I don't know. I think I really want to actively play for one more season and then see where I'm at. I'm not going to put a hard stop on it, or in a year's time, if I'm feeling still like I'm feeling now, then I'll say one more season. Why not? But again, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think I'll just hang on for the sake of it. I think I'm lucky in my career to be at a point now where I can say, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to play. So if I'm playing still for the right reasons and I feel I can give back, like I said, because I'm an average cricketer, I think I have a lot to offer to younger guys, saying that, like, you don't have to be so special to be successful. Why can I say that? Because that's me. That's my story. So I think I can give a lot back there. And then we'll see. I don't think I'll go into coaching or stuff like that. I think cricket has been, like I said, a very large part of my life for the last 25 to 30 years. So I think there's a lot out there, especially in South Africa, in the South African context, so many opportunities business-wise, and to just make a difference in people's lives. And I mean, we need people out here to just make the environment better.
Yeah.
And if everyone does that, our country, the sky's the limit for our country.
Well, when the clock strikes midnight at the end of this year, whatever that decision is, you can look back on what has been an amazing career. You've been a wonderful ambassador for the sport, and I think you've always represented your country with great pride, professionalism, and I've thoroughly enjoyed following your career, and hopefully I can get you on again and we can continue this conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. I mean, you said a lot of nice things about me. Maybe it's just because I'm sitting here. But no, it's been really good. Thanks. Yeah, and let's do a follow-up, like I said, in a year or two, and then unpack a few more things.
I'll hold you to it. Rassie van der Dussen, thanks for your time.
Thanks.